Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy King Jocko Martin back with another episode of Whispering to Your Soul. Listen, man, this is what it's like to be blessed because you're surrounded with good people. Let me tell you something. I am here with my brother, family. You feel me? I am where I am because of this man being a part of my story, and we'll get into that when I introduce him. But this brother right here is an entrepreneur. He has his own security company. He has his own clothing line. He also is a personal trainer. He's an amazing actor. He's a television show host. I am here with the guy, the one, the only, Mr. Tupac himself from the Death Row Chronicles. I am here with Mr. Jeffrey Akoff, and they call him the industry threat. What up, brother? Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Thank you. That's a great introduction, by the way.
Tight.
I appreciate that.
You know, all two vibes.
And I appreciate you wearing the clothing line as well. You know,
you see it, the
represent the buffers. Yeah.
So let's get into some things, brother. Let's talk about the beginning and who is Jeffrey Akoff. Give us a little bio. Give us a little rundown of who you are.
A little bio. I'm originally from Selma, Alabama, the deep south. You know, I grew up, played sports, basketball, football, joined the Marine Corps, and went to Iraq a while ago, and for about 6 months. Then the second time for 9 months. Got out of the Marine Corps, and then that's when I kind of got into the industry, right? Okay. So I was dating this, man, she was sexy, dating this one girl. I ain't gonna say her name, but she introduced me to like film and television and modeling. She was like, oh yeah, I think you should model. But at the time, I'm straight from Alabama. In the Marine Corps, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, modeling? Nah, I'm cool. And then I started looking into acting. Okay. And I started doing music videos first. And then, a whole, like if you look back, I'm in a whole bunch of music videos. And after I did that, I kept getting upgraded. So I said, this is maybe more simpler than I imagined. So then I started actually taking it serious. So I studied at the New York Film Academy for acting and screenwriting.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Big shout out to New York Film Academy.
Yeah, big shout out to NYFA, man. Yeah. Great program, by the way. And then from there, man, the rest is kind of history, you know?
Yeah. So what I found out is that you actually played the one, the only Tupac Shakur. Can you talk to us about that? Can you tell us through that journey, what it was like to book that role, what it was like to actually play that role, and how you felt about people's reaction after you played the role?
Okay. The audition was very intriguing. First of all, I almost left. Wow, that's crazy. That's the first time I never took it. I almost left. It was like 100 and I would say 150 to 200 Tupacs, right?
Yeah.
So I go in there, and some people actually look like Tupac that was in the building, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in there. I'm looking at the competition. You know how it is when you go audition, and I'm like, all right, it's too many people here, bro. And then I said, you know what? Someone's like, you should stay because what you have and what you're going to bring to the role may be something different than all these 150 people that are here. Right. That is the one thing that made me stay. So when I got in the audition, bro.
Wait. That's a bar. Can you repeat why you say it again for the audience? Because there's other people that are actors that go to auditions that feel the same way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what you said made all the difference in why you stayed. So can you say that for upcoming actors or people that are auditions that might get intimidated by the number of people that are going out for that role?
Oh yeah, perfect. So basically, to paraphrase a little, it's what you bring differently to the character. Because here's the thing. Even though it's 150 people there, nobody is you.
That's a bar.
Yeah. Even though it's 150 people there, nobody is you. You bring something that's uniquely to the table.
Yeah.
And what I like to bring to all my roles is me. You get what I'm saying? Like that's something that can't be reproduced, recalibrated. Even if you got AI, you hear what I'm saying? Like being who you authentically are, you have to know who you are as a person in order to even be able to unlock that mode.
Wow, I love the fact that you even included that AI can't be you.
Oh no,
there's only one you, and AI can try to copy the formula. Big shout out to Smack. You can't copy respect. You feel me? You can't copy an original. You feel me? And no one can recreate what God already created. They can try to emulate it, but they can't be you. There's only one you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm so happy that you said that, and I appreciate you saying that because someone else needed to hear that.
Of course. And then when I went into the audition, right? It was a whole bunch of white people in the room, right? This is for BET, so I got in the room and they said, "All right, we're just gonna have you improv." So pretty much the whole audition was improv. Now here's the second thing. I started auditioning, and they had me audition for the shooter, Orlando, right?
Right.
His uncle. They had me audition for pretty much at least 6 characters that was in the Death Row Chronicles.
Wow.
So I knew that I was definitely going to book something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know because they had me do Tupac. They was like, okay. They was like, good, okay, do the shooter.
Yeah.
And then I think they was having fun at this point. They was like, okay, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So what's great about being an actor, this is what should drive you. It's almost like when it's the fourth quarter, you gotta take the last shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, now I'm about to go into overdrive. I don't mind doing all these characters.
Yeah.
This is what I do, so why wouldn't I mind?
Right, you get a chance to play.
Yeah, you have fun. And it's improv. So it's literally you making the decisions, you making the judgments, you know, you capturing the moments, you creating the moments. So after I did all that, bro, I walked out there confidently. I said, oh yeah, I got somebody. I got to call back. I got Tupac. Now, playing the role as Tupac.
Hold on. What we not gonna do is skip over the phone call when they finally told you book Pac.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about the phone call and then when they dropped the booking and saying, hey, you're gonna play Pac.
Okay.
And what that meant to you.
Yeah. All right. Before that, I'm gonna go back a little bit down. Come back.
Okay.
So 4 months prior to this, right? It was a photo shoot that I booked as Tupac.
Yeah.
And it was for this, it was like a Japanese company, right? Killed the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, hey, you know they're having a movie or a documentary later on in the fall for Tupac. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was like, you should go audition. I said, you know, if I see it, you know, and they pick me to audition, I audition. And now fast forward.
Okay.
So that gave me confidence. Like after seeing the photos, that gave me a little more confidence. And when I booked and got the call, and they were like, all right, you booked the role of Tupac, we need you, blah, 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 here and there. So it felt great, man. It felt tremendous to play someone that you've always listened to, looked up to, someone that you've kind of took some of their characteristics and made it your own. So when it came down to the research of the character, 80% of it I already knew. You know what I'm saying? It was just going through like the mannerisms. It was going through, now I have to study who Tupac actually is.
You gotta master the craft.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, it's not coming from a fan standpoint anymore. Now you are Tupac. Like you have to, mannerisms, the way he, all that, talk, all that, the way he reacts to things. So now you have to encompass the person Tupac Shakur.
Yeah. You gotta embody that.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you booked it. What was it like being on set playing Pac? And then once you were done, how do you think the world received you as Pac?
How was it like playing Tupac? When I was on set, it was great. I had a little friction when I was on set with one of the people that actually brought the BMW because they have the replica ones. Okay. So the one that he got shot in. Mm-hmm. So I had a little friction between me and him during the shooting of it. But the end, it was great, bro. Something that's crazy was when I was in the vehicle, when he was in Vegas, after he had hit the script and he was on the rooftop yelling, and they were like, that's Tupac right there, yelling out the car. And then when they pulled up on Orlando Harris, when I was in the car with the character that played Suge,
Yeah.
I felt set up.
That's dope.
I felt as the character, I felt like something was off.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. I don't know if you know the famous photo with him and Suge in the car and the look on his face.
Yeah.
I felt the look.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
No, that's actually living an experience through the experience instead of acting it.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
think, you know, for a lot of people who don't know anything about acting, there's a huge difference in knowing the lines and living the lines and having subtext up under the lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different type of connection
Mhm.
where it doesn't even feel like you're there anymore and you're
Yeah.
just in the whole experience of it all.
Mhm.
So I think that it's really dope that you said that for upcoming actors, actors who don't know, and people who are not actors at all. So I think that was a really great explanation of really feeling the moment or being in the scene completely.
Yeah.
Surrender to it. I think that's dope.
Yeah, and just to say this too, so the after playing Tupac. So all right, now I've played Tupac. It's aired. It's on BET. A couple of things. Number one, the internet trolls.
Man.
Boy, when I say they were trolling, this nigga, he don't look like Tupac. He look like Ray J. He look like all right, this person. So tell me why I spent time going back and forth with these people that I don't even know till I realize, like,
Yeah, you felt
I
it.
got the credit already. Like, I don't care. It's attached to my name already. You can't do anything to take this from me. I earned it. So why am I going back and forth to people who don't affect my growth? Like, they're
Wait.
taking away from my growth.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Yeah.
Say it again for the people in the back of the church.
Why am I letting people who don't affect my growth, and take away from my growth, affect me? So at that point, it's just like,
Bro, that's
I
so
don't
good.
care.
That's so good. Because you can fall into the dark place of going back and forth with people who don't matter.
yeah.
To try to prove something that you don't even have to prove.
Yeah.
You've already crossed that finish line. So, what was it that made you realize that? What was the moment? How did you pull yourself out of arguing with
God spoke to me. It's like, as I was typing the message, he said, Jeff, why are you going back and forth? And I stopped. And then that's when I had the conversation with God. And that's when he told me that. And the thing is about God is when he says something, it's unarguable, undeniable. You do not have a comeback for it. That's how you know it's God. And I got a comeback for everything. Let me tell you. I'm the rebuttal king. Yeah. So that's at that moment, that's when I was like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
And I calmed down a little bit and relaxed. But here go the other thing I was gonna say too. I started getting all these people from that I've known that didn't follow the journey, didn't help me out with my journey. In some cases, even doubted and slighted my journey. Oh, why you doing this? Oh, you should be doing this. Oh, you so smart. Why can't you do other things? Same people. Oh my God, this is my friend from the 3rd, 4th grade. Played Tupac. I love him. I knew he would always make it. My God, I've always had your back. Come on, bro. The fakeness is the part that killed me.
Talk about it.
So these are some things that people do not take into account when you play a major role. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you don't really plan for.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, where did this come from? And you got to be able to. It's a saying in the Marine Corps, being a Marine Corps veteran, adapt and overcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you talked about the other side of the success. Because a lot of people just want the success and they don't understand what happens after the success happens. And I did an interview with R.J. Sawyer from the Book of Clarence, Emergency, the little bro. And he said a quote where he was talking about, I don't know what's scarier, being homeless or being famous. And everybody was like, I'll be famous, you don't understand. But people don't know the reason why they say heavy is the crown, because when you're famous, it comes with things that you don't even expect. You don't know who's real, you don't know who's fake, you don't know how just trying to use you for your talent. Yes, no one wants to be homeless. You know what I mean? from a perspective. We all want something out of life.
Right.
And just because you're famous doesn't mean everything's as roses and bubbles. You know what I mean? And I think there's a misconception of success and that they don't believe more money, more problems is a real thing too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's different problems.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't have as much privacy as, you know, a person that I would say is like a normal civilian would have. So everything that you do is magnified times 20. And that's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
If a normal person cheat, they cheat, they get away with it, they deal with it. You cheat? Oh, you on TMZ. They are horrible. Oh my God, this person played this role, but he's a terrible person in real life. So it's just so much pressure you have to deal with, because on the good side, it's like, okay, people paint you in a light even though that may not be your lamp.
Yeah.
So they'll still, oh, this person, he's holier than thou. He's a role. Don't role model me. I ain't role model. Wait, who said that? I ain't role model. You know what I'm saying? I am a leader. You know what I'm saying? But don't put me on a pedestal whereas you don't see me as never making mistakes, because I'm still a human being.
I love the fact that you said that, because a lot of times people treat celebrities, or what you want to call a celebrity, a person who's just doing their job.
Exactly.
Who's been very disciplined in their job, that's been afforded an opportunity to do something that they love. Sometimes I think we highlight people when we should highlight the discipline that it takes to actually be that in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I went to Barron Brown. Big shout out to Barron Brown. You know what I mean? For acting school, I also went to NYPA, so shout out to NYPA to New York Film Academy. But I remember Lisa, Sharon, and Elaine. These are teachers, and Joanne Barry and D.W. Brown. These are teachers at, and Tom Patton. These are teachers at Barron Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And they say everybody knows what it takes to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone doesn't have the discipline to do what they need to do to make it.
Very true.
That's the thing. Because success comes with requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And the requirements of success is consistency and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't tell me one dictionary that you'll find success before sacrifice, before failure, before consistency, before discipline. Because you have to be consistent. You got to have discipline. You got to be willing to fail and sacrifice in order to get to the success that you want. What are your thoughts about that?
That's very true, because it's like, how bad do you want it? You go like, do you really want this as bad as you think you want it? And you're gonna get tested. The thing is, you will get tested. How do you respond to the test that you're given?
Cool.
And here's the thing too. It's just like, people don't realize, being a person that does talent, right? You're living in two worlds, because it's like you're living in your talent, you're having fun, you're going to set, you're doing what you love to do, and then you gotta do what pays the bills, what makes money, what is gonna keep a roof over your head, and that's the part that they don't talk about. You're doing two people's jobs. If I'm just a normal civilian, I go to work, I go home, I'm cool, I pay my bills, but if I'm trying to live this dream, it's gonna be times to whereas you gotta make a choice. Do I gotta go? Am I gonna be able to go to work? If they say I call out, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Or do I go to this audition and have the chance to actually live my dream and live in my dream?
Come on now, talk about that fork in the road.
And that's what people do not talk about and
man.
understand.
You know, I remember when I was on set and I booked a show. Let's just say it was HBO Ballers. I booked Ballers on HBO. Shout out to everybody on HBO. Appreciate the opportunity, Rob Wise, for booking me on Ballers, right? Big shout out to Rob Wise. I remember doing Ballers, and they're like, Mr. Martin, do you need this? Mr. Martin, do you want that? Mr. Martin. And you're getting this certain type of treatment, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as I was done, I had to go back and go do security. And I'm back in the parking lot. And it wasn't no Mr. Martin, do you want this? It wasn't no Mr. Martin, do you need that? So one moment, you living in the dream, and you're like, I made it. Look at me. I got my trailer. It's happening. I feel good on set. And as soon as I'm off set, back to the ghetto I go.
Man,
Back to the job.
Back to do you asking other people, do you need anything? Do you need help at that point? Are you okay?
That's why we brothers. That's why I always stay hungry and humble. You know what I mean? Because you never know which position you're going to be in.
Exactly.
One day you can be on set, and the next day you might not book a job for 6, 7
Exactly.
or a year, and you got to
Exactly.
figure it out. But do you continue to believe, to continue going after what you say you really, really want to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very rare. Not saying that it doesn't happen, that people just walk in and they get consistent work all the time. But the question that you asked earlier, how bad do you want what you say you want, is so important. And time tells no lies, boy. Because it's gonna show. Okay, you want this? Funny story. I wanted to play Tupac, right? And I auditioned for it. The funny thing is, I wasn't always this size. You feel me? I gotta get, you know what I'm talking about? Pause. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean by that is, I used to be skinny. I used to be cut. I used to have a 6-pack. I used to be in shape or whatever else. But I was never in shape the same way you were in shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the difference and the reason why I'm not in the same shape that you're in is because you're consistent.
Yeah.
You don't care what's happening through the day. You're gonna go to the gym.
Yeah.
So I can be envious all I want. But me being envious of saying, hey, I need to be in shape like that, well, do you do what it takes to have that?
Yeah.
Instead of just watching someone else work out, why aren't you in the gym working out too? Why aren't you doing? So I got caught up in my own distractions, and time tells no lies. It's not the fact that I can't be in shape. It's the fact that I didn't put in the work to be in what I want.
Yes.
That's the same thing with our goals and our dreams and the things that we want in life. Are you doing what it actually takes, or are you just complaining that you want it?
No, that's very true. And also, the gym for me is like therapy. So it's like it's a peaceful solace for me. I go to the gym. I don't have to worry about figuring things out for people. I don't have to worry about these random conversations. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just go, be me, think, work out. And I have the greatest ideas too when I work out. Because I deal with a lot of strange things on a daily basis. Probably when I leave here, it's going to be something strange that's going to happen.
Stranger things confirmed.
Yeah, bro. If people don't believe it until they're around me, they're here because people say it, and then when they're around me, they're like, oh, this is strange. And to just have that peacefulness at the gym, you know, that's what, it's not, these muscles are from peace. Like, this is for my peace. That's why, you know, I work out. And the reason why I created the brand is because I've seen a bit buffers. I've seen a bit disconnect kind of in the fitness world because you know how you wear just your normal fitness clothes to the gym or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I decided to have fashion meet fitness. You know, you still have your fitness apparel where you can go to the gym, but you also can have we have another section in our clothing line to whereas you can, if you're trying to go out, you can go out with the Letterman jacket. Or if you want to wear a stylish hoodie, you can wear a stylish hoodie, hats, all that.
Right.
So that's what had me create my own clothing line.
Make sure y'all check out the buffers. And if someone wanted to buy the apparel, what would they go to buy the apparel?
Just pretty much at Buffers on IG, and then you'll just DM me, and then I got it from there pretty much. You just let me know your colors, and then I pretty much personalize everything for you.
And for those who can't spell buffers, can you spell buffers for them?
Yes, sir. Buffers. And here's the thing about Buffers. All right, here's where the name came from.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back to English class.
Come on.
The root word is buff.
Yeah.
Everybody know what buff means. All right. ER is a comparative. So, you know, like in English, they treat you like means comparative. Like I'm greater or better, you know, whatever. EST is the superlative. So the great is, the whatever the case may be. So buffer is pretty much anybody you compare me to, I am the buffer is.
I love that.
So that's pretty much the comparison. And that means total fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a different question for you, and this is for my veterans. We served our country. You know, I served in the Army. I did 10 years in the Army. You served just as well in the Marines. So my question to you for our fellow veterans is, what was it like when you transitioned from being in the military lifestyle back into the real world, because a lot of people struggle with that. They struggle with VA. They struggle with finding an identity outside of the military because they've been in the military so long. So how did you just transition and find yourself in that transition from going from being a soldier to a civilian?
All right. So being a Marine to a civilian, we have something. Well, we had something. We still have it. It's called the TAP program. It's Transitional Assistance Program, and basically it's supposed to help you transition from the military to the civilian world. And at the time, it didn't really do a great job. It's about to get dark at this point. So I was homeless for a little bit, like in my car. And what's interesting is when I went to Iraq, and both of those years, my mentality changed, because when I was in Iraq, I kind of already accepted death, which is crazy.
I mean, you have to sometimes accept that to be able to survive.
Exactly.
A lot of people, when they probably heard you say that, totally went over their head.
Of course.
But when you accept something, means you're not afraid, so that way you can continue to move forward, so that way you can survive.
It makes you fearless.
But when you're moving in fear, that can cost you your life.
Exactly.
And that's why I wanted to explain that.
Clarify. Yeah.
To
Thank
the
you.
people.
Thank you. Yeah. So it and going back to the transition, a lot of jobs, well, some jobs in the military isn't transferable to civilian life, or it's difficult for you to get a job in the civilian field. And here's the thing, like, I had warehouse logistics, which you would think like UPS, FedEx, you would get a high-paying job in a good position, but no, you got to work your way from the bottom, then work your way all the way up. And it was just difficult, bro, especially being out here by yourself in Spencer, California. I had to do a 6-month isolation just to reprogram myself from what was instilled in me in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
It's a lot of kill, murder stuff, and you can't do that in civilian work because you're gonna go to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where if I would get in an argument, like a heated argument, like I'm not trying to fight you, I'm trying to take you off earth, because that was the mentality at the time from the Marine Corps. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand this. And shout out to my veterans that is actually living with this torment all the time.
Shout out to all the
and depression, because, bro, it was times where I would be in Iraq and we would move so fast, whereas mortuary affairs couldn't pick up the dead bodies. So I would be taking a leak on a dead body with fucking, excuse my language, but with brains hanging out in the burn. It's a whole burn full of dead bodies, bro. Like, how do you get over that? Like, it's easy to turn the killer on, but how do you turn it off?
And not only that, this isn't Call of Duty.
Yeah.
There are no respawns. When I started, I was at law school, Germany. Remember Jessica Lynch?
Yeah.
I actually was sitting at the desk when I got the call. You know what I mean? Because she came to our hospital. She was being triaged and taken care of. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we got the terrorist threats and everything else that came along with it. You change the urgent, not the urgent care, but the level. Mm-hmm. The threat level. You change the threat level to orange or whatever else the color is, right? Speaking of code, because everybody don't need to know what it is.
right.
But it was crazy, because I had to call the first sergeant, I had to call the commander, I had to alert the general, I had to alert everybody else about the level of the threat changing. Yeah. And people don't understand, it's one thing to go there, it's another thing to come back. Mm-hmm. And when you come back, you can't explain what war is really like to someone who doesn't understand it.
Yep.
And then you wonder why I'm isolated. I'm isolated because even if I did tell you, you wouldn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, how do I explain bombs or how do I explain an RPG missile to someone's head? Mm-hmm. How do I explain shrapnel in people's body? How do I explain my battle buddy here with me one day and blowing up the next? Mm-hmm. How do I explain coming back while all my friends are still fighting? It's something that you can't explain. Mm-hmm. And the military tries its best to cover it up. Do you not know when your children go to war, they send them to a hospital before they actually send them back home?
They try to patch them up so you don't actually see what the gruesome reality of what war really looks like. Because if you actually knew how gruesome war really was, you probably wouldn't send your children.
Of course.
Because they're not going to send theirs, and they would rather send yours out to be the slaughter.
Yeah, man. You definitely see horrific things, and like you said, is very, and this is why veterans bond so tightly. Is because it was funny. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little joke that somebody. Well, it wasn't a joke. It was a real story. Somebody was like, there was an army guard had pulled up to like a store, right? And
Allegedly.
no, it's all good. It's already good to go. So he gets out the car, leave the car running, right? Goes into the store. Somebody tries to steal the car. The car's still running. He shoots through the glass, killed a person, right? And the person telling me the story, and the first thing I said, I was like, damn, that was a good shot. And they just looked at me. Like, what about the person, that passed away? I'm sorry, like that. Maybe you should have been trying to steal the car, but that's a good. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. So those are things like that. If you say that to another veteran, like we understand that, but you say that to a normal person, like, where's the empathy?
Because you can't have empathy when bullets are flying over your head. You can't have empathy when grenades are going off. You can't have empathy when you're trying to get back to your family and you don't know if you're going to make it.
Exactly.
All you can have is survival instincts. So we're programmed differently, you know what I mean? We have different things that have been programmed in us that you have never seen, and that's why it's a difficult conversation for veterans to be able to talk to regular people. So I'm glad that you talked about that, and I'm glad you also talked about the TAP program and the transitioning program, and that you can go from being in the military to becoming successful outside of the military.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's another thing the military does. They try to brainwash you. So, we'll give you a raise, and they'll try to keep you inside the system, so that way you can't find your own freedom.
Yeah.
Outside of the military.
Yeah, they tried to give me the red list because I had a very high PFT score. My rifle score was great. I did all my MCTs. Like, I was honestly the model Marine. You get what I'm saying? But I remember this one time when I could have been in the movie Jarhead, which is a Marine movie. And they told me that they couldn't let me go to film the movie because of the fact that I was job essential. And it's 100 of me. So it's just like, what are you, at that point, that's what kind of, I was like, I'm going to get out of here, bro.
Job essential was crazy how they manipulate that for their benefit.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Here's another question. Because I know that you also do music.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you also host.
Mm-hmm.
What type of impact do you want to make on people in the entertainment industry? When they see Industry Threat or when they see Jeffrey Acuff, what do you want people to know about you or remember about you or think about you?
I want people to, I would say, remember or think about me as, and I'm going to say this very candidly, the nigga that made it out of the hood, that was able to be successful even though I didn't come from rich beginnings. I want to be that example for Selma, not even for everybody. It could be great if everybody else grasps that example, but just personally from my city, because people really don't make it out of where I'm from.
Right.
And every time you see somebody that's from Alabama, and we've experienced this, and they be like, "You from Selma?" The look on their face, bro, tells you everything you need to know.
Shout out to Selma, Alabama. You know what I mean? I know. Well, I don't know, so I'm not gonna act like I know. What I've heard from my brother, that, you know what I'm saying, things is definitely different. So I want to make sure that I big up everybody in Selma, Alabama. I pray that everything that y'all want come true. I pray for more peace. I pray for more opportunities. I pray for more people to be able to come to California, or just get out of Selma, Alabama, to be able to see more things. Or I pray that Selma, Alabama just becomes so amazing that, you know, we can brag on Selma, Alabama the same way people brag about Hollywood, you know?
Exactly.
That type of vibe.
You know, the thing is, it's just like, sometimes you gotta be what you want to see.
Yeah.
And I just decided just to, you know, take the leadership by the horn, and I'll just be the person that creates the legacy, that creates the generational wealth. that is the next huge successful black leader. And acting, I love film and television, but if I gotta do this another way to uplift my people, i.e. music, i.e. hosting, to get a message across, then that's what I'm gonna do under any means necessary.
That's one thing that I do know about you. You're a man of your word. I mean, you kind of beat me to the next question, which was, what do you want your legacy to be? But I guess you kind of explained that already. So I want to ask you this. How do you pull yourself out of the sunken place? I know you've been through a lot of things. I've seen life knock you down.
Yeah.
I've seen you personally question God. I've seen you, be in pain. I can see you be confused, wonder. How do you pull yourself out of the sunken place? I know the gym is a part of it, but what else do you do to pull yourself out of that and continue to fight to be positioning yourself to do all the amazing things you're doing right now?
Because I have a purpose greater than myself.
Talk about it.
That's why. If it was just about me, maybe I wouldn't go as hard. But this is for family. This is for legacy. This is for race. This is for my ancestors. Like, these are the things that keep me going. And additionally, not to sound arrogantly about this, when I see somebody doing something, bro, I'll be like, I know I can do that shit. And I do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you can do that, I know I can do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I prove it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's just funny when you explained it.
I mean, I'm telling you, I'm being honest.
But I know there was something that you said that was important to me, right? And you said you wanted to do it for your ancestors. So, I got a question for y'all. And my question for y'all is, how do you become so comfortable in your comforts when the comforts you have come from the bloodstains of other people?
Exactly.
So many people have risked their life in order for you to have the comfort that you have today. So what are you willing to do to make the world more comfortable for the people that come after you? What are you willing to risk? Or have we forgot? Or have we become so comfortable in our comfort that we too lazy to do anything else to create a better future? I'll say that one more time. How did you become so comfortable in your comfort when the comforter that you sleep in comes from the sacrifice of people who came before you? And what will you do, and what sacrifices will you make so the future could have more comforts than you have right now? What are your thoughts about that, boss?
I feel like this, with that being said, people are very comfortable as long as they have their essential needs, right? Like, you got gas, I can pay rent, my bills are covered, and I can have a little expensive to eat. I'm good. I don't need nothing else. A lot of people don't think bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So because here's the thing too, it takes hard work. It takes effort. You gotta know a lot. You gotta do multiple things in order to be the person that is trying to hold the legacy, or the person that is trying to hold the torch from MLK, Malcolm X. You gotta do a lot more than just go to work, come home, and then pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing something like that on that level, it's always consequences, and you have to be able to accept the consequences. Are you willing to die for what you're doing? If not, then you probably shouldn't be.
Man, and that's a bar. Say it again. Say it. Say it again.
Are you willing to die for what it is that you believe in?
Man.
Because guess what? All the great leaders before you have.
And guess what? You're going to die anyway. So are you going to die for a purpose, or are you just going to die to die? Because there's a big difference between living and existing. Mm-hmm. And I say this every show, and I'm going to keep saying it, because I love Amir Suleiman quote that I remixed. And he said, "Do you not know that death has been chasing you since the day you were born? The question is, will it find you in your purpose or your excuses?"
That's a bar.
Man, that's so crazy.
That's a bar.
And check out the poem The poem is, one day, you will be someone's ancestor. Act accordingly. He went
One day
crazy.
you would be somebody's ancestor. It's crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy with it. Last thing, what would you tell any upcoming actor, entrepreneur, someone who wants to make music? What can you tell a younger person? How would you inspire them? What words of wisdom could you give them?
Don't listen to people when they tell you that you can only do one thing. Don't allow them to box you in based off of their own personal beliefs and their own personal abilities. Know you are a shining star, and that anything that you, this is so cliche but so true, anything that you put your mind to, you can do.
Come on, man.
Because I do it all the time. People think, like, I don't be knowing all this stuff offhand, but guess what I do? If I want to learn it and I love it and I want to turn this to a passion, I'm about to research it. I'm about to look at articles. Now we got Google, we got AI. Stuff is so easy to do nowadays. It's just, now you're lazy. You get what I'm saying? So
wow.
if you want to be an entrepreneur, guess what? At first you're gonna be broke. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got investors, you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to build a budget. You're gonna have to market for yourself. You're gonna have to do 10 to 20 jobs by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: like, if you're doing talent, if you're being an entrepreneur, if you're doing music, if you're doing all these things that I'm doing, like, you literally wearing 50 hats. If you learn a business structure, you will learn how many people jobs you're doing. So with that being said, if it's something that you're passionate about, or God has ordained you this talent, then you got to go out there. You got to research it. You got to research the ones that come before you. Because I'm always researching stuff. So I research people's stories, like artists,
the greats,
actors. Yeah, I research all their stories.
Yeah, I love that. You know, it's so funny. Alignment is funny because you came right after C. Hud did his interview. And C. Hud said, you know, one of the things I love to do is I love to study the greats. I love to study the greats. When I can't figure it out, I go study a great.
Yeah.
And I use that as a navigation system so that way I can get to the success that I want.
Yeah.
You know, and big shout out to Goddess Lahadi. I love you for life. May you rest in power and love. Quick moment of silence for her. But she said to me, you could tell how successful someone wants to be with what they do in their downtime. Where you spend your energy will show the deposits that you make towards your success. Say that one more time. You can tell how successful someone wants to be with what they do in their downtime, and you can tell where they spend their energy and the deposits that they make into the bank of success. Just thought that's so cold, bro.
No, that's
you feel me?
Because a lot of the time, you know, people like to, I mean, it's good to be able to go out, to enjoy yourself, to have leisure time.
Yeah.
But then when leisure time start invading on the space that you need to succeed, that's when you got to find a healthy balance. Or if you can do both, because you know what I mean, you be outside. We can be outside, but then still be at work, still be on set.
Outside working. Outside working.
Working. And we can still be on set at like 7 or 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
We can still be at work 7 or 8 in the morning. Yeah. This one of my
based off what, like 3 hours,
one of my female friends, she told me, she's like, we just went out and it was like 3, and I see you getting up at 6 a.m. to go to work. Like, how can you be able to do that? Because guess what? If I want this money the way I say I do, and I can go out, then I can get up and go to work.
You know what you sound like? You sound like somebody's grandma. If you can party, on Saturday,
exactly.
You can get up for the Lord on Sunday.
Exactly. So, dude, I got them Southern values. You already know.
Yeah. Last thing, can you give us your social media, man? So if anybody wants to hire you as an actor, a speaker, a host, a personal trainer, or just want some life coaching, how can people find you? How can people support your projects? And what new projects do you have? And then give us your social media.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
Remix it. Okay, so new projects. Today I just had a meeting for a print and commercial agent because I do really well with print and commercial. Like I've done things with Reebok, Timberland. I've done Jordan commercial where I played against Chris Paul 1-on-1, which was dope.
Yeah. People don't know that you're a real hooper. They don't know you.
Oh yeah.
We ain't tied.
Oh
that.
yeah.
They don't know that you're a real
I'll
athlete.
drop you off.
They don't know that you actually did stunt double work for Allen Iverson and people like that.
I'll drop you off. Yeah, I actually do this. This jersey ain't for show. Know that. And I'm writing, so I got to get back into my screenwriting bag because I looked at one of my scripts I had in film school. I said, why did I stop?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to reflect on yourself. You know, sometimes you got to reflect and see how great you are. And, oh man, I should never stop.
Looking for a pillow to throw. You know what? I just found it. That's how far. Say it again.
Sometimes you got to review your work to see how great you are because we get so caught up in I got to find the next job. I got to do this. Sometimes we forget how great we are and what God has blessed us with.
Man.
And sometimes you got to take that time to reflect. But I'm writing right now. I'm doing screenwriting. I'm actually writing a lawyer, either a feature film or a series that he's going to be the opposing attorney in it. And of course, I'm going to be one of the main attorneys. So I'm writing that right now. I'm writing another like Undercover Narcotics. I'm writing that. So I'm writing about 3 shows right now. And yeah, man, that's about it. I'm just getting into that screenwriting bag and wherever comes on the talent side. And I'm lead detective for Force Entry. Shouts out to King Jaquel Martin. I appreciate him for that.
Shout out to China. Shout out to Kato for giving me the opportunity. And then I wind up hiring my brother to play the lead detective in the film, and he went crazy. I'm excited for y'all to see the movie Force Entry. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all support Queen C Productions, and make sure y'all support my brother Kato Fornia. If people want to find you, how can they find you?
All right. IG Industry Threat, all one word, INDUSTRYTHREAT, Industry Threat. Fitness Buffers, BUFFEREST, that's my fitness clothing line. Music, Pharaoh Rhymes, it's pretty self-explanatory, Pharaoh, that rhymes, all one word. And that's pretty much all my socials. You can catch me there.
Check this out. And you can catch your boy King Jaquel Martin. That's KingJaquelMartin. And you can check out the show Whispering to Your Soul on IG, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Spotify. We're about to be on iHeartRadio and Apple Music just as well. Y'all just make sure y'all support, like, share, subscribe. You feel me? If you don't like it, give it to somebody else because somebody else could be blessed by it. You feel me? This is just a time capsule of love. We're collecting testimonies. Coming to you next. If you want to pull up and be a part of the show, holler at your boy, get in my DM. Let's make something happen. But I just want to give a big shout out to my brother. Matter of fact, before I end the show, I want to tell y'all one exclusive gem. I want to tell y'all an exclusive gem. My brother said he was writing a script and he was going to go to New York Film Academy for writing a script. And I was like, man, I wrote a book. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to film school too. I said, where you going? He said, I'm going to New York Film Academy. Well, I'm going to New York Film Academy too, right? Monkey see, monkey do, right? Type energy. So what happened was Jeff actually went to become a writer. I went to go become a writer. And then I found out how much writers had to write. And I no longer wanted to be a writer. I said, that's not for me. I don't want to write 30 pages a day. I don't like writing like that. That's not my vibe. That's not my gift. That's not my See, you got to know you. Mm-hmm. So it was okay that I followed my brother to film school. But I had to follow my own path. Exactly. You feel me? So he gave me the opportunity to see something different. Big shout out to Tyrone Tan, because Tyrone Tan introduced me to the director's program. And this is how I went from wanting to be a writer and became a director. But the introduction to New York Film Academy was because of my brother, you know what I'm saying, Industry Threat. So technically, the reason why I'm directing right now is because Industry Threat challenged me. I accepted the challenge. I took my own path and found directing because of you. And now I'm doing Force Entry. I did A Warm Friendly Grounds. I did Twitter Fingers. I did Kato's music video. You feel me? And I'm just grateful to you. And I want to give you your flowers here today in front of the world and say, bro, I honor you as a king. I honor you as a brother. I appreciate you. I know your pain, but I also know your success. I see you driving your Porsche. I see your security company. I see your clothing line being a major brand. I see everything that you're doing. I see you being a recurring actor on so many different shows. I see that God has so many different things that's on the way for you. I just want you to continue to stay focused and don't let the devil knock you off, bro. You feel me? And if he does try to knock you off, get up and do it again, because it's proof that it's possible that you can, because you have continuously done it over and over and over and over and over again until you're sick of doing it over. So I can't wait to see you consistently stay on the other side of where you're supposed to be, in your talent, in your gift, in your hosting, in your security, in your personal training, in your discipline, in everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know we have real conversations. I pray that both of us have our boys in our life. I pray that both of us have family that we're able to take out of the situations that our families are in, bro. The families that we don't get to see every day because we're here. And people don't get to see the sacrifice of our loneliness, of saying, I'm still going to be successful without our family being here. And I'm going to make a way. I'm going to make a bridge. I'm going to show us possible. I appreciate you for being the trailblazer that you are. And I just wanted to give you credit in front of the whole world for the man that you're becoming. You know what I mean? Because thank God you don't look like what you've been through. But thank God I'm glad to see what you're going to become. And I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate you.
You
man.
feel me?
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna always edify you. And my brother was one of the few people ever in the world to play Pac. Hate all you want, but what you can't say is your name is on that list. And my brother Jeffrey Akoff name is on the list of playing Tupac Shakur, and I'm proud of you, King.
I thank you, bro. That was very heartfelt. I don't know. There's not much I can say to that. So, number one, blessings to you and your family, and the same, because you've been through a lot too. Even, like, we've all had to battle these certain things, especially being out here, especially being in LA, and we're not just talking the expenses, you know. So it's just good to have that resilience, because in the end, all you really have is faith and hope.
Yeah. And
how much do you believe in yourself that you can make the difference and make it to your dream?
That part. Look, that's our show. Whisper to Your Soul. I am here with the one and only Mr. I Play Tupac, Mr. Industry Threat, Mr. Buffers. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, my brother, Mr. Jeffrey Akoff. And I'm your host, King Jaquel Martin. Y'all make sure y'all tap into the show. Y'all make sure y'all continue to show love. And that's us.
Peace.